Hi, my name is Simon Appeli and I'm subject leader for MA Documentary Practice at UCA Farnham. MA Documentary places strong emphasis on a number of different skills, from research techniques to interviewing skills, right through to self-shooting and editing. Our year-long programme helps students to develop ideas and skills to become a documentary filmmaker. On the course, students will learn different approaches to documentary filmmaking, looking at form and content in a stimulating and creative environment. MA Documentary is specifically designed to give students the opportunity to develop a personal idea and to take that through a number of different stages to create a film which is ambitious, which engages with the world and tells us something. We place strong emphasis on research techniques, interviewing, camera skills, but also budgeting and scheduling, skills that documentary filmmakers need to know, things that will help them organise a shoot efficiently, but also creatively as well. Because MA Documentary Practice is a relatively young course, we've been running for 3 years, our cohort is small. But the advantages of this are that students get a lot of one-to-one support from lecturers. There's a framework of seminars and talks which allow students to engage with ideas around documentary. We encourage students to think about the form, to think about the content, and also think about the audience. Students have crafted stories around disability, gender, sexuality, place and home. Students work with a range of participants, from school children in North China to a head doctor in Kenya to one individual in Birmingham who dresses as Spider-Man and delivers sandwiches to homeless people. So the students are getting out there into the world and finding stories that are unusual, unfamiliar, and really looking at opening a world, a window on a world, to subjects that are possibly overlooked. I'm always impressed at how engaged our students are in tackling stories which have a narrative tension, that they deliberately take risks, they go and they find stories which actually mean something to them, but also will engage with an audience. Students will have access to high-end digital cameras, to sound equipment, to radio mics. They will also be supported with an excellent technical staff. In terms of post-production, students use Pro Tools, they use Premiere and Avid to finish and complete their films. We also encourage students to think very hard about sound. So we support the students with documentary sound recording workshops, but we also get them to think about how do you use sound creatively within documentary? How do you use a soundscape to tell the story? The main difference between studying on an undergraduate course and a postgraduate course is essentially time. On an undergraduate course, you may have 12 weeks roughly to complete a documentary unit, where with the MA Documentary you have approximately a year to develop an idea, to find a subject, to create a character journey, to think about narrative. This enables them to go abroad. We've had students shooting films in China, Ukraine, Japan. Ultimately, we want students to go on a journey. We want them to find engaging characters. We want them to find interesting stories. We want them to challenge themselves as filmmakers, but also we want them to be able to create films that will communicate to an audience. I suppose what we look for in a documentary student is an individual who's curious about the world. Somebody who can take risks, can take creative risks, somebody who can make opportunities happen. One thing that you need to develop as a documentary filmmaker is this ability to respond to real events, to respond to the world and be flexible. What we really want to come out of our course are students that are ready to make documentary work.